everyone, and welcome to Unique Learning Pathways Education Services YouTube page. I am the founder, Lakeisha Purdy, and I'm so excited to be here with you all. Before we get started, I want to let you know who we are. Well, we are a digital reading tutoring company that specializes in reading intervention for grades 3rd through 8th. I am a decades-long educator, and I love all things literacy. I enjoy teaching students with the special populations. I get to serve that population. I worked with K through 12, and I love all grades, but my heart and my passion is definitely the upper elementary and middle school. So with that, I wanted to come here today and I wanted to teach you all a skill on one common core standard that I think is very important, especially in the middle grades, because you're going to encounter a lot of text where you're reading different things. So for instance, have you ever read a book or watched a movie and you felt like you knew some things that the character didn't know, or you were so invested in the story and the way the person wrote the story that you're like, man, I really like this, right? So today we're going to discuss that. We're going to talk about the author's point of view. We're going to talk about how to decode and recognize the different point of views when we're reading diverse level of text. I am so excited to get started with you all. I'll see you shortly. All right, so we're going to get started today with ELA with Mrs. Purdy. There we go. Little tech issues. Now, we are going to learn about our point of view power, cracking the author's perspective, right? You may have heard author's purpose, or not purpose, author's point of view, or author's perspective. And a perspective is how the person who is writing or the narrator who is telling the story, how they are perceiving the characters. So we're going to understand the point of view in literature. What is point of view? Well, I'm glad you asked. Point of view is who is telling the story. It is the narrator's position. So think about a camera angle in the movie, right? So we see the girl in this picture with the binoculars. It's about the perspective of the director in the movie or the perspective of the writer of the book. And it shapes how we experience the story, right? When we think about stories like the Three Little Pigs, the reason why we're able to really understand how that wolf's attitude was and how puffed up he was in that story is because the author really gave some really great background knowledge on the wolf's personality, right? Like they gave us an understanding of how this wolf encountered each pig, right? So we're thinking about how we experience the story. It shapes the author's point of view really does shape how we experience stories. So one of the type of point of views are first person point of view. And think of first person. I always want us to focus on the pronouns with the first person and third person, because it's a really good way to get those key notes out of that and pick out little I would say Easter eggs, as they say, right? So the narrator is the character in the story. So if they use I, me, or my, then we already know that this is how that character feels. So when you're reading a story and you're reading and you hear them say, I did this and I did that and I felt so sad and me and my brother and me and my sister, then we automatically know that this is the character's point of view, right? So I'm going to give you an example. I walked into the dark room, my heart pounding, right? So we know that this is coming from a first person account, that this is the first person point of view, because the author is telling us how they feel. They're communicating to us, this is how I feel, right? We see the picture, we see a man with a monologue giving us his all, telling us how he is feeling in that moment. That is what first person point of view is. So when you are reading a text and you're trying to decide who is talking, who is trying to get me to understand what is happening in this story, when you see I, me, or my, that is your indication that that is first person point of view. For our next point of view, we have third person limited point of view. And with this point of view, you can already see that the word limited means that we don't see the whole picture, right? When we think of limited, we think of not a lot, right? Not full, but just a little. So this is when the narrator is outside of the story, but focuses on one character's thoughts and feelings. So there may be other characters in the story, but the narrator is only focusing on one person's thoughts and feelings. So that's why it's limited, because we're not getting the understanding of how other people are feeling in this text. So look at this example. It says, Sarah felt a knot of fear in her stomach. She wondered if she should go through with the plan. So we're only hearing about Sarah in this example. We're not hearing about Bob or Pam or none of her other friends. We're only hearing about how Sarah felt in that moment, which is a very limited perspective. And another way that you'll be able to notice that this is a third person account is if it says she, or if it was a guy and it said he, right? If it says she or he, I automatically know that the narrator is telling me something from a third person perspective and point of view, because we're only talking about that particular character. Okay. Now, third person omniscient. All right. So when I say omniscient, I mean that means I'm everywhere, right? That the narrator is outside the story and knows everything, all the characters' thoughts, feelings, and actions. So they know everything there is to know about everyone. So I have a book here. And if you're in middle school, you've read this book or you've heard this book, Charlotte's Web. Charlotte's Web was actually a book that was written from a third person omniscient point of view. So let's get an example of a sentence in the text. It says, as Wilbur lay down in his bed of straw, he felt a deep sense of loneliness, unaware that a spider named Charlotte was already planning a way to save him. So in this example, we notice that we're not just thinking about, and we're not just being made aware of how Wilbur is feeling, we also are being made aware of Charlotte. Right? So they're telling us about more than one character's thought, feelings, or actions. Okay. And that is how we're able to say and decide, that's a third person point of view. And that's very important, because when you are starting to read text, and especially in your middle grades, you're going to not just read one particular text. You'll have the opportunity to read multiple texts where you will see multiple point of views. And it may even come from different accounts. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are reading a story about World War II. And one text, you have the author who is a historian. And this person is just giving you chronological details about the events, telling you everything that has happened, not necessarily the feelings, but everything that happened in World War II from the time that it started into the end, right? So they have maybe a third person limited perspective, because they're not telling us how the people felt, how the soldiers felt. They're just giving us an account of what happened. However, you may read another text where you get the account of a soldier, right? You may see a letter that a soldier wrote to their family. So you may see a lot of I, me, and my, and you're able to take both of those texts and compare, but also contrast. What are some similarities? What are some differences? What are you noticing about the tone of both of those texts? What are you understanding about the way that both people are describing those moments? One from the person who is not there, who was the historian getting secondhand information, and then the other from a person who actually is experiencing it, right? So you're going to have a different perspective, but you're also going to notice how you feel, right? When you're reading a text where there's a first person point of view, you begin to have more feelings about it, because you can picture and visualize how that person felt, versus if somebody is just giving you dates, times, and people that were involved, right? So this is just very important to know when you are trying to understand the author's point of view. The goal is for you to have a greater understanding and a better feeling about the text, but also know and discern what type of point of view it is, so that you can understand how they want you to experience this text. right? Once again, if you're reading a historian's account of something, then they just want you to grab knowledge, right? Their purpose is to just inform you. They're not trying to persuade you of anything at that point. Now, some do, but in that case, they may could just be trying to inform you of a time in history. However, a person who is writing from a first person account may try to persuade you of their opinion of war or the impact of how something affects them. So now I want you all to see if you can spot the point of view. So the first one, he watched the rain fall, a sense of loneliness washing over him. He wished he wasn't alone. Do you think that this is a first person, third person limited, or third person omniscient? So if you guessed that it was third person omniscient, then you would be correct. I was trying to highlight. I was trying to highlight. That's my mistake. There we go. Let's see if it'll let me. There we go. Don't talk about my crooked lines, okay? All right, now I want to know, how do you know that this is a third person limited? I can tell you one way I know. I know that it's third person limited because one, they're only talking about one person. Also, I see the pronoun he, so I assume that it is third person. But it's only talking about one person's thought and feelings. So that let me know right there that there's third person limited. Now, the next one. I couldn't believe my eyes. The creature was enormous with glowing red eyes and sharp claws. Obviously, that's first person because we already know that it has I and my. So we know that this is a first person account. Now, the last one. Emily pretended to be interested in the conversation, but she was secretly plotting her revenge. Across the room, David nervously awaited her response. This is third person omniscient because now we see more than one person's thoughts and feelings. Now, that was easy, and it may not be as easy when you are reading text in class, but this is just a bite-sized way to give you a clearer understanding of point of view because author's point of view can be really challenging, especially when you're hearing first person, third person limited, third person omniscient. It can be a lot that comes at you at one time, okay? So I just want you to remember that when you're trying to understand the point of view, it helps you understand the author's message and connect more deeply with the story because the author at the end of the day wants you to either want to inform you, they either want to entertain you, or they want to persuade you, right? So that's one of the three things. So what I want you to do is I want you to think of a favorite book or a movie. My favorite movie is Avengers Endgame. And think about what point of view it's told from and how does that point of view affect your experience of the story. So if I just talk about Avengers, the Endgame specifically, I personally believe that that movie was told from a third person omniscient point of view because we got to see every character, right? Every superhero for the most part, the ones that weren't, in the blip. But we got to see how everyone was feeling. We got to hear their thoughts about, not being with their family and their friends, right? So we got multiple accounts of other people's thoughts and feelings. And I feel like because I was able to get those multiple thoughts and accounts, it really affected me emotionally in different moments and parts in that film, right? So I want you to think about that when you're reading your favorite book or watching your favorite movie. Think about what point of view is this being told from? And how is that point of view affecting my experience with this story, right? So I want you to do that. And when you do, I want you to type in the comments the movie and also the point of view is told from. That was all for today. If you have any questions or you parents, you are interested in your child receiving tutoring from Unique Learning Pathways, you can contact us at uniquelearningpathways@gmail.com. And before you go, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that there'll be more content. And if you are interested in me teaching other skills, other Common Core standards, please email me or post it in the comment section. I am open to suggestions. And this was a great time being with you all today. I will see you all next time. Bye.